Rocket Lab reported their latest quarterly figures Tuesday after the market closed. Was not enough for the company to be up 165% already year to date. No, the stock had to go up another 25%. Yes, you heard that correctly. The stock is up another 25% at the time of making this video after hours. Great quarter, good comments, and actually some useful comments on Neutron. This company will now be worth around $9 billion. Yes, it is definitely overbought, as you will see later in this video. And of course, if you look at some pricing metrics here, EV to sales before this 24% jump, it was already at 14.6 times, which is definitely not cheap. Yes, this is a company that is growing quite fast, but yeah, it's not cheap. But then again, if you're long this company, then $9 billion, $8 billion, that's peanuts compared to what this could become in the future. Most of us know we are looking at SpaceX as an example. SpaceX, private company right now, worth around or valued around $200 billion. So everybody's like, oh, so Rocket Lab could be $200 billion in the future. Yes, could be. Could also be $100 billion. Could also be $50 billion. You don't know. We don't also have a Starlink equivalent for Rocket Lab right now, but we do know that services is going to be a huge part of this company's future. So let's jump into this report. If you enjoy this type of videos, hit all the buttons, like, subscribe, all of that. We really appreciate that. And congrats to all the holders. I know this is a company where it has a small community, and this community is probably growing and growing as the stock goes up. But congrats to all of those that have been buying at $4, even below $4, because $4 was a thing of April, not a thing of a couple of years ago. In April, this stock was under $4. We're now at $18. Insane run. So congrats to everyone that is long. Those that are retiring tomorrow, well, enjoy your retirement, but I do think that we still have a long way to go with this company. Anyways, if you're new here, hit all the buttons, subscribe. We're trying to reach 60,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And if you want to support me even further, do check out the link down in the description and in the pinned comment in the top 10 best stocks to buy now, or go to fool.com/couchinvestor. Thank you very much. All right, so for those that missed my last video about Rocket Lab, which was basically a couple of days ago, I just want to show you what some people expect the space industry, space economy to be by 2035. It is set to reach $1.8 trillion, up from $630 billion in 2023, and averaging a growth rate of 9% per annum, a figure significantly above the growth rate of global GDP. Now, with regards to Rocket Lab, for those that do know and for those that don't, small reminder here, we're talking about a company that wants to be an end-to-end space company. One with launch, with spacecraft, and with space services. On the launch part, which by the way is only 1/3 of their business, spacecraft is 2/3 currently, Neutron, they say here, multi-launch agreement signed with confidential satellite constellation operator. So this thing doesn't even exist fully yet. And we already got here some great news. As for Electron, in Q3, they signed here $55 million worth of new launch contracts. They also told us that Electron is the world's third most frequently launched rocket annually after SpaceX and China. And to be honest, I mean, China Long March 2 had 14 launches, Electron is at 12. And I mean, if they really wanted to show how successful Falcon 9 is, and Falcon Heavy and Starship, this would have been quite a funny picture. It's basically at 109 already for the year. So, Neutron, launching from Launch Complex 3 in Virginia, they have already 2 dedicated Neutron launch booked in 2026 and 2027. This is the beginning of a productive collaboration that could see Neutron deploy the entire constellation. So yeah, I mean, this is already very good news. Cunha here wrote down a couple of things from the start of the call. So Peter Beck said, we have worked with many different customers for Neutron's first missions, but we're in the fortunate position to be able to choose who flies first. Meaning, I mean, that's my interpretation. I think there is just a lot of demand for Neutron. Peter Beck also said the following thing. We are well positioned to create our own constellations to provide in-demand services and capabilities in space. We're not ready to give details on what these constellations or applications may be. I mean, this is a company that is now growing in confidence. Continuing on Neutron here, they say that Neutron is well positioned for NSSL Lane 1 on ramp. This is the Space Force program basically. So they say here that this program is an indefinite delivery, indefinite quantity contract projected at $5.6 billion over 5 years, allowing the Space Force to issue individual task orders to qualified providers. Neutron is on track for expected first launch in 2025, meeting on-ramp requirements. So let's see what happens with that. If they do get it, then things are going to get quite wild. You know, like the HBO documentary, Wild Wild Space. Continuing here, government integrated in Neutron development. So they say here that the US Space Force Space Systems Command, Neutron is now eligible to compete for missions under the OSP for a $986 million IDIQ contract. And that's basically this infinite delivery, infinite quantity. As for Archimedes engine testing, they say here that engine testing cadence has doubled over the quarter. And so looking at what the business has done during the quarter, revenue reached $105 million, the high end of their own guidance. That means that it increased 55% year over year. Now, space systems increased 81% year over year. So for all of those that still think that this is a launch company, no, this is now space systems. Well, not now. It has been for quite a while. Space systems is still the largest part here. And well, launch is actually flat-ish year on year. Then looking at backlog, that has increased 80% year over year. It's down sequentially. I think last quarter that was closer to 1.06, I would say. So yeah, we're down a little bit sequentially. They say here sequential rebalancing in backlog mix as healthy launch bookings offset a strong quarter of space system revenue recognition. Now you can clearly see here that year over year space systems is up quite a lot, right? We go from 331 million to now 721 million. They say here that, of course, that's primarily driven by the SDA, the Space Development Agency, beta contract award. And then you've got also some strong Electron bookings here. They also expect approximately 50% of their ending Q3 backlog to be recognized within 12 months, with the remaining 50% to be recognized beyond 12 months. So probably I would assume that the $55 million that they signed in contracts for Q3 is not included in the backlog. Otherwise, I would say that the backlog would have been up a little bit. So maybe in Q4, we could see that increase quarter over quarter. Remains to be seen. Then with regards to non-GAAP, free cash flow and adjusted EBITDA, they still have $508 million in cash, cash equivalents, marketable securities and restricted cash. So that's fine. Currently, the quarterly cash runway is basically this. They've got 9.78 quarters or 29.34 months left at the current cash burn rate. So I think that's enough time, right? Zooming out a little bit and looking at, well, all of the numbers, or if not most of the numbers. So revenue is up 55%, cost of revenue is up 45%, gross profit is up 86.9% year over year. Operating expenses increased 48.4%, and the shares outstanding are up 2.82%. So yeah, okay, we're growing quite nicely. We're growing faster than operating expenses. Yes, we are also losing more money now than a year ago. But like I said, this is basically the monthly cash runway, and the quarterly one, we still have a long way to go. So I don't think there are any fears of, well, them not making it. Plus, okay, maybe they might raise more money for M&As, for other stuff. Could happen. That will result in more dilution. But I mean, if it helps them grow faster and become more profitable sooner, why not? Ending here with financial outlook. So for Q4, they expect revenue in the range of $125 to $135 million. And this time they don't really give us the split here. So they expect continued growth in space systems revenue and currently anticipate increased launch cadence during Q4. So, okay, that's the information that we get. Then for GAAP gross margins and non-GAAP, GAAP-wise, 26 to 28%, driven by operating leverage and improved mix within space systems. As for non-GAAP, between 32 and 35%. For adjusted EBITDA loss of $27 to $29 million. So that's better than this quarter. And so looking at the stock right now, you can see that we are above $18. We are up 412% since the lows back here in April. And as I've said countless times in the last couple of weeks and months actually, the stock has been overbought, since mid-September. So if you were an ordinary investor that only looks at the chart here and you would see, oh, it's overbought, I have to sell. But I've shown you countless times that you can stay overbought for a long period of time. We have now been overbought for close to 2 months. And yes, I can assure you that tomorrow we're going to be even more overbought because we're at $18.11 currently. Are we due for a small correction? Maybe, but I mean, I am enjoying this. So overall, to conclude, I'm very happy. They keep on executing. 2025 is going to be an amazing year once we see Neutron. I mean, the stock has gone up a lot, but in my opinion, in 10 years from now, $9 billion in market cap will look like peanuts. So congrats to all of us. Still early. Share your thoughts down in the comment section below. Like, subscribe to all of that, and I see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.